Hey, sorry I haven't been in the streams for a while. I have been busy. No, you're fine, Slick. Lemonade and peach flavor. It's a new Mountain Dew. It's weird. I haven't had a peach drink in for frickin' ever. Or anything peach for that matter in a while. It's weird. Sorry it took a minute to get on the Q&A, but I had frickin' fire I had to do and it was humongous. Cracking back. Jesus. Hate when I have to do that because hurts otherwise. Wait for some people to get in here and blatty blatty blah. Hey Slick, have you seen Fear the Walking Dead? Or are you one of the people that told me you didn't? Hey, Sweet Kazark. Yeah, most definitely. I made a Troy post last night. If you saw that, and how stupid his death was. So, you know what? We're gonna do something. Share screen. We're gonna minimize it. And we're gonna go channel, community. I hope you really like my Troy picture. So this is what it says, in case you didn't see it. Basically, the post is talking about how pretty much immortal Troy Otto was, like Morgan and so many other characters. And what really annoyed me was that when Troy proclaimed to kill Alicia, not knowing she was barely alive, she did exactly what Madison did and stabbed Troy through the chest with her arm. But apparently Madison's actually killed him? Like, how did Alicia doing it not kill him, but Madison's did? Like, what? They just decide, oh, we're going to nerf his pretty much immortality of surviving all this and just kill him? Why not kill someone like freaking, like, I don't know, Dwight and Sherry, who've been alive for even the original Walking Dead? Or, look, I'm not saying that I don't get it. Because Troy was basically indestructible, and they just nerfed the frick out of this dude. Troy, look, watching Fear the Walking Dead, Troy has pretty much become one of my top characters. I love him. I hate how they did him as much as I hate Lori Grimes. That's how serious this is. And it's stupid. I'll never understand. It wasn't until he came back that he became one of my favorites. Don't get me wrong, he was cool when he was alive in season 3, but it wasn't until he came back in season 8's ending that he really got me going. And I get it. He wasn't exactly like the nicest guy, but the dude even was alive enough. He had a freaking kid, for God's sake, and everything. Even though kids in Fear the Walking Dead are cursed. Charlie, Dakota, Tracy. My point is, they did it wrong with Troy Otto. Oh, and also, per the new system on my streaming app, I'm not going to be using paper anymore to write down your guys' suggestions for the Q&A. Apparently, a new feature that they added, and just my new thing of doing it from now on, they added a notepad onto the Restream app, so I can literally type in the stuff that you guys send me. And even if I didn't have this, I'd probably switch over to Microsoft Word or something like that, because true, writing stuff down is cool and all, but still is a hassle moving between equipment and everything. And I just feel that using it off of technology is just better. It's a cool new feature. I knew they said they changed Restream, but I just didn't know what they did to change it. And hopefully you guys have been staying in cap with my important updates and everything, especially my update on the McQueen project. And I'll talk more on that in a minute. But first, we got to get some more people in here and start the Q&A. Yeah, I didn't find that out until last night, per Russell literally saying that Alicia did the same thing to Troy. And it's like, well, if she did it to Troy, how come Madison doing it killed him and Alicia's didn't? Is it because Madison stuck it deeper in and actually went through him? Maybe Alicia's just stuck into his gut but didn't go through his stomach. That I would understand. But Russell said that Troy left with the arm stuck in his stomach. I figured that meant, I don't get it, because he had this, Troy literally regenerated in a matter of episodes from a spoon in his eye, stabbed himself in the arm with a knife and barely felt anything, took 2 shots to the dome with a hammer, survived an exploding dam, survived a car crash and a stick through his shoulder, and survived a prosthetic arm through his chest, and yet somehow Madison's killed him. Like, they just nerfed him at the very end because they had to kill someone. I feel like they could have killed someone else, be it Russell or freaking maybe Madison. As long as they had a reason to kill someone else and made it logical, they could have literally killed anyone else but Troy. And when I found that out last night after watching that part, I am like, oh, let me tell you what, it made me so unbelievably enraged. There's one character that I wanted to survive more than anything than Troy Otto after I found that out. Okay, his death before, it was upsetting, but after last night, it's very upsetting. And sure, I made the PvP and got more Troy invested before I found that out, but it doesn't mean that I still wasn't, it it still doesn't mean that I didn't want him to survive in the way or whatever. So yeah, anyways, if you guys paid attention to my recent update that I made, I am officially on or near season 5 territory on the McQueen project, and I should be done with the McQueen project by the end of this month. So by the beginning of July, I should be on the Abraham Lincoln project. I could get that done in like a day or two. But if you guys paid attention to my update, it's not that I lost motivation, it's that I hit roadblocks as to what to do with certain parts of the project. Which has happened, but I just hate it whenever it happens because then it doesn't allow me to get stuff done fast. Fast in a way that it's good for you guys. All right, so we got Slick, Shrieker's Arc. We got anyone else in here? How are you guys doing? You enjoying the videos and everything? For the Dragon Ball fans, who liked my What If Vegeta Became Immortal, and how are your guys' opinions on the first part to my Casey story for Scream? And then I'm going to set up on my notepad here on Restream notes for the questions, since I can do that now on the computer. Man, this laptop pretty much does everything for me. It's freaking incredible. The picture art and everything, it's making my life like 1,000 times easier than it did. Not to say that doing it off my phone was hard, but it's much easier on here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, how's your guys' opinions on the Vegeta story? Those of you who actually watched that, and for the Scream fans, how are you liking the first part to that story? Is my chat messed up? Or is just no one commented more than that last one? Maybe you just don't have enough people to comment yet, which is fine. Did someone? Okay. It's very quiet in the stream now. Do you guys take a little like AFK break? Once we get like 1 or 2 more people in, we can start the Q&A. Or we can even do it now for Slick and Kozark, since you guys are in here. Don't mind me. I may AFK myself until we get some more comments or people in. I still can't believe how far this channel's come. It's awesome. All right, so I got the notes down. All I gotta do is wait. Design? Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Slick and Kozark, you guys dip or are you still here? Guess I'm waiting. On Q&A. I'm on Q&A. Is on if you want to join, so you don't miss another stream. You haven't been on a Q&A in a while. You want to join this one? Okay. Should get a decent few people in here. Hopefully my friend, if he wants to freaking answer. Slicker Kozark, you guys back? Or am I alone again? What's up, King Devin? Slick Devil and Kozark were in here, but they dipped. Thank you. So I made a Troy post last night about how much more ridiculous his death was than people really looked into. Did you see it? Then I'll get into more of what I want to talk about. What if Merle was in Herschel's barn? Someone already recommended me that, and it's saved. Well, basically, it explained how Troy basically was indestructible. The dude survived a spoon to the eye and regenerated in a matter of episodes, stabbed himself in the hand with a blade and felt basically nothing, survived two blows to the dome with a hammer, a dam explosion, and came back from it all. And then apparently, even after it was unfortunate that he got killed by the prosthetic arm, which I felt stupid, and they definitely could have let him live. I found out last night after rewatching a scene of the Fear finale that Alicia did the exact same thing before it was proclaimed she died. Whenever Troy thought that he killed her, she did the same thing that Madison did. But somehow Madison's attack killed him. Now, if Alicia's didn't go through Troy's chest, that much I understand. But Troy was basically immortal. He was basically Fear's Morgan Jones if Morgan didn't go in. And like Rick and Michonne and everything like that, he was basically indestructible. But they decide at the end of Fear to just nerf him. That Troy was basically like the definition of you unlock the final boss as your ally sort of deal. Like how strong Bucky Barnes was in the MCU, and then he shows up to the good team and he gets immediately nerfed. And it's like, Troy wasn't exactly good per se. He could have very well been lying and everything and turned on Madison again. But I just don't understand how Troy was basically indestructible and they nerfed him straight at the end. After I found that out last night and watched that scene, I literally punched my table and was like so angry. Like I was Lori Grimes hating level of angry after finding that out. And thank you for the PvP comment. But anyways, I also, besides that picture and that, I told you guys about my upgrading or doing better on the McQueen story. Now, it wasn't exactly lack of motivation that stopped me from making the story as fast as I was. It's that I hit a few roadblocks and couldn't find out how to do certain parts of the story. And I was still doing the story. It's just that I couldn't find out certain parts. But as you guys could see from the updates and everything, I have gotten near season 5 territory. I should be done with the McQueen story production wise by the end of this month. The Abraham Lincoln one will take a day or two, and then I'll be on to the second list. But anyways, now I can ask this question more appropriately with more people in here. How are the Dragon Ball fans? How did you guys like the What If Vegeta Became Immortal story? And for any Scream fans or just fans of the channel or watching my Casey Becker part 1, how'd you guys like that first part? And are you guys excited for the rest of the story? I just want to hear some feedback, talk to you guys, that stuff, more or less. It's always good to come on Q&As and get to that time of the week, talk to you guys like fully and completely outside of comments, you know? Which is wonderful. I love talking to you guys on the comments and everything, but Q&As definitely expands that. Because it's live, you know? I mean, I'm an idiot for even explaining this to people who know what live and all that stuff is, but, you know, it's just, you guys get what I'm saying. Support-wise, you guys are definitely killing it still. Did I get another comment? Oh. No, that's just me reminding our Julia. I like the DBZ story. But my question is, how was the Earth Dragon Balls able to wish away Vegeta's immortality when he's stronger than Piccolo? That is actually a very fair point, but you got to think also, for number one, it was a 2-year-old, 3-year-old story on my Google thing. So not every single little tiny detail was down to the T. And immortality was never wished away from a person before. So I was just like, anything goes. And that even if it was a couple-year-old story, it was just, that scene was able to make sense in that way. Plus the fact that Dende was the Guardian, not Kami or Piccolo. So with how Dende made the hyperbolic time chamber really, really broken, and how he's done with Shenron and everything and made Shenron broken to a T and made several wishes, I just pretty much, summarized it at the end to the best of my knowledge. how'd you like the first part to my Casey story? And anyone else who's a Scream fan, how'd you guys like it? And are you guys excited for that one? All right. So let's appropriately start the Q&A. And for anyone who's just joining the stream, you guys included. Mm-hmm. Since Slick and Kozark dipped, the Restream app. This is what I'm loving about the laptop. I've already explained this before, but it's pretty much doing everything for me. And Restream actually updated, and it gave me a notepad setting. So now I don't have to write down the suggestions anymore. I can do it on the notepad bar, and even if I end the stream, the ideas will still be there. So I will have to switch between the notepad and the chat, but it's no different than me looking down and putting down a suggestion on a piece of paper. So unless my computer were to mess up and I'd have to go off my phone or something happen, then I would just do my usual style of writing stuff down. But yeah, this is another case of the laptop's basically doing the work for me in the case of giving me a setting that makes it easier to put down suggestions. Hopefully you guys also like the fact that I changed, I can put chat overlay so I don't actually have to switch over to the notepad. My God, the laptop, oh, I can't even. It's just that freaking awesome. So with that all out of the way, talking about updates and doing all that stuff, what do you guys say we appropriately start the Q&A and get some suggestions down? And you guys have been killing it with the support and everything. With not only the Vegeta story, even if many of you aren't Dragon Ball fans, but the decent amount with the first part of Casey Becker. I mean, I expected at least a little bit more, maybe Scream fans, but it's fine. I know we'll probably get more as the parts go on. So it's not a huge deal. Wonder if I should change the background. I can change the design and make it cool. What if Nick became a whisperer? Interesting. That actually works a lot. Like a lot. Because Nick seemed to pretty much fit in with the walkers. Why did I never think of that? And oh my god, I'm loving the frick out of my laptop right now. Because I can literally not have to use paper anymore. I can just type my suggestions because the Restream update gave me a notepad bar. I thought you were talking about me for a second becoming a whisperer. But then I was like, oh, wait, there's several people in The Walking Dead called Nick. Well, Nick or Nicholas, or it's the same thing. I'm just going to name it What If Nick Joined the Whisperers. It's the easiest name. And plus, names really matter if you want to make a good story. That's why I've updated names since I made the channel, because it's all about the name of something that makes it stand out. You guys would know that more than anyone, considering if you've watched, seen, or heard of What If stories. Hopefully you guys like the design too, even if I still have to put a background, because I don't want to put in too much real life stuff, not at least until I have bigger setup, mainly. No, I know what you meant. It was just a split-second reaction that I thought you were talking about me. But anyway, yeah. I hope you guys like the back design. I can't put me into that design because I still think it would be a green screen effect. But you guys should be okay with this. Yeah, writing stuff down is okay. I never had anything wrong with that, but it was because I had no other way to do it. And I've wrote stuff down since I started the Q&As. So changing it is honestly the way to go. Especially if it's a good change. I'm not one for change, but if it's good change to me, then we're all aces. This is so weird. Got a few new Mountain Dews recently, and hold on, let me get clear image. Here we go. So apparently it's lemonade and peach flavor with other natural flavors. It's called Freedom Fusion, and it tastes more like peach than lemonade. I mean, it's kind of sweetish like lemonade, but I haven't tasted anything peach related in years, so it's weird tasting peach stuff again. We got more people in here. Maybe Slick came back or something. Get more suggestions in. Hi, Tungalus. I love how right when I say that, right whenever I ask, Tungalus like just boom, just spawns in. Like a friggin' Minecraft server. That's funny. That's actually pretty freaking funny. Nick, you have to watch The Boys this summer. Yeah, I've heard of it, and I've heard that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in it or might be in it or is spoiled in it, but he's in a lot of things that I haven't watched about him, and I just don't see it interesting me. It took me forever to even get into stuff like Harry Potter and Pokemon. Eastman and John Dory? well, then Morgan would have just met John Dory sooner. And that's ultimately going to be like that would be like my what if John Dory was in the Atlanta camp thing. So that would be rehash content. And honestly, yeah, more or less that would just be rehash content. And I already have Eastman surviving and going into fear. So it would just be a combination of both those what ifs. And I don't want to do too similar of the same thing in those kinds of ways. Oh, so get this. I was in, those of you who know Sophia, GMV, King of Portals, and Gavin, all the trolls of the channel and everything. I was watching a What If Shane Won by Captain Gold, another What If YouTuber. It was like his only What If. But I was looking in the comments, and guess whose comment was in it 2 months ago whenever the video was made? Freaking Sophia. And I was so tempted to freaking lambast her and be like, oh, how you guys been since you tried to freaking slander me and turn my people and me against each other and this, that, and the other thing. But at that point, I was just like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Plus, they haven't been on here to troll, be rude, or anything like that. I think they all gave up, to be freaking honest with you, which is perfectly fine with me. Because I know we're going to have plenty more like them. Wait, what? Hey, dude. Just wondering, are you on Skyworld's stream commenting right now? Or is someone pretending to be you? I've never met you, don't know about Skyworld. That's bringing back some vibes. And that might be someone trying to be me, because none of that stuff interests me, nor would I want to be involved doing that. I can promise you The Boys is beautiful. Well, I can't promise you that I'm going to watch it, but it'll be something that I maybe look into. Search up Skyworld stream. Okay. I don't see what's the point of it, but Skyworld stream. Okay, YouTube results are giving me next to nothing, but I don't know if Sons of Anarchy. So what are you asking me to search this off of? Because I don't know. Because I searched it off YouTube and it's giving me nothing. Search it off Google, maybe? This just seems very suspicious. No, I'm not interested. I don't know if someone's pretending to be me or what's going on, but it does not concern me, interest me, or anything like that. What if the Otto's Ranch and Virginia Lawton swapped? Okay, you're going to have to, like, show me the link to the place or like send some proof or something like that, because I don't know what's going on or anything like that. And even if that's the case, I really don't care. And I love how I said they gave up, and then the second that I say something, something happens. King Devin or KJ, you can definitely testify to that. Wait, so Virginia's group, like the all of them swapped with Otto's ranch? I thought that I saved that, but I guess that I could do that. All right, that's 2. Search Skyworld's stream. Why are you leaving, KJ? You don't want to stay? So what am I searching this off of? Am I searching it off Google or YouTube? Because I honestly don't know where to look, and I'm not sure that I should bother. Shut up. Oh. Oh. Bro. I guess they were right. No, you're fine. I found it. Let me share just for a second, and then let's get back to the Q&A, because honestly, that's the main concern. But let me go to the top here, and we'll figure this whole nonsense out. So I paused it because I really don't care, but see, look at this. We got a Nick's Topics. We got a, where is it? We got an Omniverse of Nick 2, and we got a Damon. Are you serious right now? I really shouldn't get involved. We should stick to the Q&A, but just to clarify that these people are being ridiculous, I'm just going to comment real quick. I no joke am telling them to rethink their life choices. Okay, now that I'm done with that bull malarkey, let's say we get back to the Q&A, shall we? King Devin, Slick, everybody, we're going to get back to the Q&A because frankly, this is just a mild diversion. So we got, what if Nick joined the Whisperers, and what if Virginia's Lawton and Otto's Ranch swapped? Once again, does that refer to like Virginia from Fear, or is that another community that I missed? I'm pretty sure it's Virginia's community from season 5 and 6 of Fear, but I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm not being stupid on that remark. Yeah. Let's say we get back to the main thing here. See, I thought so. I hate how it says a 0 here. And yet there's still people in here. If Tungalus is still in here, do we got anybody else still in here? Or is this thing being crazy with me? Like the number for the stream? What if Owen was the leader of the Whisperers? I have Owen joining the Whisperers and Beta being the leader of the Wolves. So a few of those I have saved. Yeah, like I hate how it's saying 2 people and then 5 people with 3 people. We got anyone besides Tungalus still in here, like King Devon or anybody? Because I think that whole situation of me ironically saying, oh, they're done talking stuff, randomly someone shows and they're still impersonating me. It never ends. And if people are leaving because of this, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know why I'm apologizing. I ain't got nothing to be sorry for, but I'm just saying. It's a whole deal. What if Oscar survived? That and Axel and several other prisoner stories are saved already. All right, we got the Nick one and the Virginia Lotman auto one. Just trying to call my friend. Anyone still present? I feel like after that whole situation, everyone just left. Are we really doing the protein bar one again? People just do not stop with the protein bars. Like, for some stupid reason, apparently that can be a what if. But that's just a silly discussion. And I will answer it for you by saying the protein bar was just a silly thing that Morgan, Michonne, and Rick had up till season 6. And it really didn't result in anything outside of a funny conversation. If Morgan had stopped Teddy's nuke, Teddy would still be dead, Dakota would still be alive, and the radiation would just be less of a problem. It just wouldn't be there and would honestly make the threat weaker, but it would honestly not change too much of the story. What if Sophia joined the prison group? Now that I could do. No one ever asked me to make someone join the prison group outside of like Teddy or stuff like that. But like Merle, Shane, stuff like that, no one's ever asked me to do something like that before. Now that's worthy of a what if. Number 3. What if Dan Schneider was The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead showrunner? I don't know about that. From what I've heard about Dan Schneider and everything like that, it would honestly make The Walking Dead more, how shall we say, creepy. We got one, guys. What do you mean one? We got what if Nick joined the Whisperers, and what if Virginia Lawton and Otto's Ranch swapped? So we have more than one. Are you guys serious right now? I appreciate we keep this at least like semi-appropriate on here. I know. But that's 3 so far. What's Saul Goodman from? Because I feel like someone recommended me that before, and he's probably from a show or movie-based franchise that I have not seen or do not care to see. We're not doing Dan Schneider what ifs. Sheesh. The dude's creepy. The dude is vile, okay? We're not doing anything with him. Yeah, I have not seen or do I think I'm going to see either of those. It'll make me feel better. I can't make promises, especially whenever it comes to something. I can't watch something just to appease people. All I can say is that it may or may not happen. Hey, Zaik, have not seen you in a decent minute. I'm surprised you actually made the stream. It's a good thing I reminded you about it, more or less. Do we still got King Devin or like... Do we still got King Devin or KJ or Slick Devil? People like that? Because I feel like we lost them after that Skyworld guy came in and told me about Portals and GMV and them still impersonating me on a Skyworld stream. Well, I have Tomas surviving, and that's going to lead to him and Andrew, or him and Andrew and more people leaving the prison. So technically that's already going to happen. How are you guys liking the updates, the pictures, and the stories, especially with the finisher of Dragon Ball or anything like that? Just in general, how you guys enjoying everything the channel's offering? Just nice to know your guys' opinions. Hey, Garjulio. No, it's not Portals or GMB, it's Gavin. I joined the stream just to see what was going on and asked who was personating you. All the ults are Gavin. Well, you also got to think Portals and GMV. Okay. Let me see this. Can we stop it with the Dan Schneider and can we keep this like semi-appropriate, please? Thanks. That's what I was also getting at, is the Scream one too, if you guys are enjoying that one as well. Can we just stop with that? Yeah, Gavin's an old person from the past too. What if Sophia joined Terminus is saved? Willy Wonka? What would he do in The Walking Dead? King Devin or KJ, are you in the stream? I got a job for you, if you know what I mean. Just to be sure whether or not I have to do this myself. What the heck? What's going on? YouTube let you get away with this, but not that bullet wound from the Merle story? I gotta think here. Okay. What if maybe building his own community in the chocolate factory, like the Saviors, Willy Wonka would team up with Heath to make a famous candy bar? I'm gonna have to say no, because yes, I have put silly characters and plan to put silly characters and plan to put silly ideas in The Walking Dead, but I just feel that with that one, it's just not right. What if Carl stayed with the Terminus? What are you talking about? What if Merle never joined the governor and met John Dory in Texas? I have Merle joining several other groups, but John Dory on his own, I have Merle joining major groups like Virginia, Troy Auto, and Padre. But John Dory alone, I'm going to have to say no. What if Andrew died instead of Big Tiny is saved? Slick, nice to see you back. We have, if I look in my notepad here, we got 3 ideas. We got what if Nick joined the Whisperers, Virginia, Lawton, and Otto's ranch swapping, and Sophia joining the prison group. I think a bunch of people left because freaking right whenever I mentioned that I saw one of the old trolls, Sophia, on a video that I was watching from another What If YouTuber, I mentioned the fact that they haven't trolled or done anything like that in a long time. And then conveniently, right at that moment, my quote unquote past, I say their past, came to bite me and show me that I was dead mistaken. And they're still trolling on a Skyworld server. And I'm like, bro, is it even worth it to do this? There's so many things you can do with your life. Why do you want to impersonate someone who's just trying to get something done? Is it me or is the stream lagging? Maybe it's because I'm switching between Notepad and chat. So I'm just going to go back to the Notepad and just read the chat that way. What if Virginia and Negan? You know, that one sounds decent. What do you mean by got lost? I plan on Merle sparing Gargiulio killing Merle, and other Gargiulio what ifs like him joining Negan and stuff like that. But to make it not like those, I'd have to get an idea. Wait, how would Rick and Troy swap successfully? Because you gotta think, Rick would have to be like an important role in the Otto Ranch, and Troy would have to be like Rick Grimes. I mean, basically, he was immortal. If you saw my post, saw Fear, and know about Troy, and he was basically like Morgan Jones and anybody else, but they decided to kill him, just like that. But if you guys saw my post and everything and heard me, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm just going to have to say that you're going to have to give me an idea. What if Beta beat Daryl, or what if Beta pushed Daryl? I have Beta pushing Daryl saved. Michonne and Tyrese, that's saved. I'm going to have to get an idea for the Gargiulio and Merle getting lost one as to not repeat rehashed content. And for the Rick and Troy one, I'm going to need an idea to how Rick would replace Troy and how Troy would replace Rick. Virginia and Negan, I can get an idea like that. And others swapping and everything like that, I can get that. But yeah, still need an idea for some of them. What if Morgan killed Dakota after John's death? He honestly should have, but the most I can think is that Teddy would have less help and they would be able to stop the nuke, in which case the threat would ultimately be dialed down and Virginia would be dealt with a lot easier, even though it was pretty much like an episode later she was killed anyway. So honestly, I would think it would just be a dialed down season 6 and 7, and Fear might have honestly ended like even a season early. Morgan honestly might have even stayed with the group for the ending. So not too much to talk about. Well, if you're going to put Dakota in the Atlanta camp, you got to put Virginia too. And it's kind of hard to replace them specifically. I put Charlie and Ennis in the Atlanta camp because they're easier to replace. But yeah, more or less, yeah. Hey, King Devin, glad to see you back. What if Governor and Virginia swapped? Select, do you got an idea for that Rick and Troy one? And what was that other one that I wanted moron. I think that's it. I'm going to extend it because of that return to my past with that trolling. I honestly didn't expect and half expected to eat my words when I said that, but at this point, I think it's just best to keep my mouth shut like I have been, because, yeah. I have Tyrese surviving, and honestly, Tyrese replacing Michonne would honestly just be rehashed content, and it would just not. It would work, but it wouldn't work. But what if the governor and Virginia swapped? That I can do. All right, we got 5 ideas. I'm extending the stream because of that. Why am I keep getting messages? What? What am I getting here? There isn't even anything. Let me see what I missed. Freaking Troy. What if Michonne died instead of Tyrese? What if Madison killed Tracy? Okay. So what if Madison killed Tracy? When do you mean? Do you mean in the finale whenever she shot her? Or do you mean sooner then? Because I think you mean whenever she shot her. I just want to be sure. You know, I'm surprised. I never did a Claimers and Negan What If, but I did a Terminus one. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I never did a What If on that. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, what if Negan met the Claimers? Consider it happening. Wouldn't it be easier to do it whenever Tracy tries to shoot Madison and then, like, she does, but then Madison just ends up killing her because she has no choice? I don't know. I don't know. Because if it was when Troy was still alive, then you have a vengeful Troy who isn't injured yet from the tree branch in the car crash. Wouldn't that just make it more trouble than it's worth? If she did it after, sure, Alicia would be upset, and much others would be upset. And that would also take away from the fact that Troy told her that stuff so that way Madison would look after Tracy, and Troy lied. I don't know if I should do it at all. I can't think of how it would successfully be done. And as for the Rick and Troy one, Rick could be like maybe Jeremiah's brother, and maybe he could be a vital part of the ranch, or maybe like a higher up soldier like Troy was. And then for Troy, he would be with Lori, and it'd be very weird, the dynamic between him and Shane, but I'll tell you what, I can do it, but it will take some work, as does every story. But I can do it. See you later, Zaik. Nice to see you again for another stream after a good minute. What if Beth and Lizzie swapped? So what? Like, well, it'd be weird to swap them specifically at that point. What do you mean by swapped after that? Because usually whenever you guys tell me to swap characters, it's like swapping their roles and swapping their character themselves. That's a little bit different for swapping for a specific episode. That can't really do that. Unless you mean going to another place. No, I'm not going to do another cannibal group. But that is 7 ideas. Oh, now I remember what I wanted to say earlier. King Devin, if you would be so kind as to find in Fugio Chompy's name here and gladly, boot him out. If you would be so kind. I'm going to name it What If Lizzie and Beth Swapped After the Prison. That's the best way to name that. Tony Soprano? I don't know who that is, and if I do know who that is, I forgot who. So you're going to have to refresh my memory. Well, then I've never seen it. So that's going to be a no for me. But we do have 8. What if Troy killed Madison? When specifically do you mean? And how would he do it? Your idea? Which one? I'm confused on both what you're saying and when you guys are talking about Troy. So you guys are going to have to help me out a little bit here. And King Gavin, too. Oh, what if Joe and Gareth swapped? Well, you said never mind, so I figured you didn't want me to do it. As for if I really swapped them, I kind of agree with you on the fact that it would take character development, so I just took it as a no. Well, I don't know if Troy would kill Madison there. You know, I almost feel that it's best. I got an idea. Hear me out on this. Right, so I'm going to do it. But I'm going to have it so whenever Madison goes to strike Troy with the hammer in season 3's ending, Troy reacts in time, takes the hammer himself, and hits Madison. So it's like a role reversal, but do we honestly think that Madison would survive that? I think whenever I make the story, I'll make a poll, and you guys can decide, but that won't be for a long time. But that's how I'm going to make that story. What if Walker never left Fear? You know what? I'm going to do that because that's so weird, though, how we never saw him ever after that. After that scene, we never saw him again. Well, it's undecided what I'm going to do with Madison in that story, but then it wouldn't be what if Troy killed Madison. It'd be different. But anyway, you know, people asked about Walker, Sarah, Wendell, and Robbie, but apparently we actually know what happened to Sarah, Wendell, and Robbie. Apparently they died off screen. It was like the end of season 7 or 8. Whenever Strand or someone else brought them up, apparently they died of starvation from being kicked out of the tower whenever Victor was still a bad guy. But as for Walker, after season 3's ending, we never saw him again. The Proctors didn't seem too big to include more than one segment, so I can't really do that one. What if Lizzie and Dakota swapped? I'm pretty sure I have that one saved. Well, if Sarah and Wendell joined Luciana's group, then the showrunners lied because we never saw them. The only time we saw them was like near season 7's ending, and it was at Victor's tower. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lizzie and Dakota's swapping what if is already saved. The Vultures? I forget who the Vultures were, but I'm not going to include the Proctors in any what ifs because they just aren't worth bringing up, really. They're kind of a lame villain group. The only reason that Fear was bad is because they killed off one of the best characters who was seemingly invincible. Troy freaking Otto. Like, dude. Whenever I keep thinking about that, how I said that Troy survived Alicia's freaking stab through his chest and then Madison somehow killed him the same way, it just doesn't work. Troy regenerated from every injury and life-impacting thing he had with little to no effort or no pain. And then right at the end, they decide, oh, we got to kill somebody. So let's kill the guy who is basically invincible. That's like killing Morgan Jones and making it easy and everything else. What's up, the person? That's like killing Morgan Jones at the end of Fear, or like whenever he gets into the forefront of Fear the Walking Dead, or bringing him back for a reunion with Rick, or killing Rick whenever he's in The Ones Who Live. Would any of us ever want that? No! Frick no! So why do it with someone in freaking pretty much invincible and ruin Troy Otto's character? Oh my god, when I figured that out last night and listened to that scene from Russell and Fear's ending, I am sitting there like thinking to myself, why? That made me so mad. Like, it got me like Lori level mad. And we all know how I hate Lori. I hate Lori. But the way I got mad, oh, I'd even say it was worse. That honestly was worse. Oh, now I'm in a mad mood. I'm sorry. Oh, now you see why I have Troy on my picture, and because I've grown to love Troy. And I actually have a what if about Charlie, talking about what if Charlie actually killed Troy, and a few other Charlie what ifs. So she was all right. She was an all right character. What if Lori and Madison swapped? That's actually saved. Someone recommended me that already. I'm surprised I didn't get Rick and Madison together in my Madison's Family Joined Rick story. She was pretty much in a redemption arc the second after she killed Nick because Alicia forgave her. It just kept going on and on. It's like Negan. And the redemption factor just keeps going on and on and on. And it's like it goes on for like over 7 years. Well, yes, but he's really not. Think about it. Think about it. He, after 7 years, everybody pretty much forgave Negan. And even Daryl asked him for help and nodded approval to him at the end of The Walking Dead. And everyone's made peace with Negan except for Maggie. And even at the end of Dead City Season 1, she's going to rescue him. Like, come on. That has to be worth saying something. True, don't get me wrong. I didn't like the fact that he killed Glenn and Abraham. But you also got to remember, and the person saying this too, everybody in The Walking Dead has killed at least one person, be it important or bad. But Negan is no different than every other character who's gotten their hands dirty. It's just what you have to do in the apocalypse. True, Glenn and Abraham were important characters and they were lovable, but it's just, for one thing, actors decided, and it's because it's much easier to make a comic-based style story than it is for actual people. Yeah, it would ruin his whole redemption arc. Well, it's because it's freaking Maggie. You gotta think. I understand where Maggie's coming from. But she turned it around because her son got nabbed. So I got a question for you guys. For those of you who know Troy Otto. So let me just summarize this. He gets a spoon in the eye, regenerates in a matter of episodes. He stabs himself in the hand, feels no pain, and regenerates in a matter of episodes. He takes 2 shots to the dome with the hammer and survives a dam explosion. Yes, he did get rescued. That's beside the point. And comes back with just a clear eye like Gabriel, gets a tree branch into his shoulder, and somehow doesn't bleed out. Apparently, Alicia's arm went through him whenever it was presumed he killed her, but Madison's kills her, or Madison's kills him doing it, but Alicia didn't. Explain to me where the logic is in that way of thinking. Wouldn't you guys have deemed, like, if you guys did not see that scene happen and Fear the Walking Dead's ending wasn't out yet, wouldn't you guys assume Troy to basically be immortal? Like Morgan Jones or Rick Grimes or Michonne going through so much? Like, come on. You don't write someone to basically be like a walking regenerator and then kill him off. Just like in the dumbest way possible. For all we know, Troy could have definitely survived that. I mean, we stole his walker, but they definitely could have made him survive that. Like, did Morgan ever die from anything he's been thrown at? No. The dude's literally been shot, freaking cut up, bruised, stabbed, maimed, tortured, and everything else. And Troy got like double, if not around the same treatment. And it's like, Troy is like Fear the Walking Dead's Morgan if Morgan didn't join the show. Wait a second, that gives me an idea. What if Troy and Morgan swapped? Rick and Troy being best friends? You know what? That actually would work. Because, yeah, that would actually be a really good setup. All right, so we got 11 ideas. We extended the stream. I brought up everything new, update-wise, and all that. But I think we're going to call it here, guys. So we got 11 ideas here. New setup, new notepad, new background, everything. I'm going to call it here. thank you guys for joining the stream, new and old. And thank you for the 11 ideas. I will see you guys next week for the next Q&A. Later on Discord, depending. Tomorrow, definitely on Discord, because I'll be on and off, like Xbox, all that. And Monday, going on to the week, usual uploads for the Casey story. Any of you Scream fans. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the first part of that and enjoy what's to come. And with all that out of the way, thank you guys so much for the ideas and for joining. And I'll see you guys later.